Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. We haven't seen this one for a while, but today I'm going to be doing pack 2, probably part 1. I may have to split this down, of the Agora Models release of build the U.S.S. Constitution. Now, you know my record with wooden ships, but you know what? This one is going absolutely amazing. And I'm actually recording this introduction halfway through the build at the moment while I'm waiting for things to dry. But I think I'm going to bring you up to speed now and just show you actually how I got to this stage, which means we're going to be starting with stage 6, I believe. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description, and you've also got that QR code on the screen. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So to start this stage again, I'm not using any of the parts from pack 1 at the moment. I've gone straight onto the pack 2 parts, which are these wooden things here. And once again, I've wrote all the numbers that it was telling me to write on each one here. Now, I've done that for every plate we've got. I learned my lesson straight away not to write actually on the piece. Just write just off of it, and it just saves having to rub it out afterwards, as you can see there. Pretty cool. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those pieces and I'm going to take them all off. And once again, I'm going to use these as a template. I'm going to be lying the pieces on here. I'm going to be putting something heavy on top of them to stop them warping. But we've got 10, 11, 12, 13. We've also got 14, 15, 16, 17. And we've also got 18, 19, 20, 21. So I'm going to get all of those completed now. Now, me getting ahead of myself, we're only meant to go up to 19, not to do 20 and 21, because we haven't got those parts yet. They're going to come in pack 3, although we do have 2 of the parts, as you can see here, for 20, but we're only meant to go up to 19. Now, an idea some people have had is to put some greaseproof paper down here and then put it on there, but to be honest with you, I want it to stick really tight and not to be warped. So that reason that when I do peel this off, I am going to have paper attached to the back of this, but it needs sanding anyway, so I'm going to sand it afterwards to get rid of that paper. So as you can see, that's all done now. I'm going to put the last layer of hardboard over the top. That's going to keep everything flat, and I'm going to leave that till morning. And as you can see here, it's being guarded by Sparehead 2.
A few moments later.
So as you can see, they're all dried now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this masking tape off. But I'm going to be very gentle taking it off, because I'm going to still need these templates here to actually work on the next section. And also, something that I've just realised I didn't do was I need to go back to pack 1 and get the template for parts 8 and 9. Because I need to get them off as well, which is 2.1 to 2.4. Bearing in mind some of these parts you will find in pack 1. 2.2 there, as you can see, and 2.4. So here's the 2 that I forgot to do from pack 1. So I'm just going to take the glue off of that now, because that's dried. And I'm also just going to peel off this masking tape. This is actually painter's tape that I'm using here. Now, as I said, this is going to stick to the paper. It won't be too bad, but I just need to sort of just loose it free like that. And then turning it over, you see I've got paper just stuck to it. I mean, greaseproof paper would stop that happening, but I could just use a sanding stick. And as you see, that comes straight off, just like that. Do the same on the other side. Also, now's the time to try and get rid of any numbers you've put on here. I didn't mean to do that, but there you go, just like that. I'm going to put that back on there for a second and do this one. And there you go. With them done, we are now ready to go. So, going to bring over what we've worked on so far. And there you go. That is where we got to. Looking really good. Now, these are really important to keep these into place, because as the wood dries and the glue dries and there's heat in the atmosphere, they will have a tendency to try and warp. But if you keep these in, that's not going to happen. Now, what I'm going to be doing is taking the strut 8 that I've just created, and that's going to be doing a quick test fit in here to make sure that goes in nice and straight, just like that. Now, you can use a set square on this to ensure that happens. It is going to need to be glued into place, and we're only putting glue into this middle section just here. As I said, I don't have a set square, I need to buy one, but I did create this 3D block which is going to help me with right angles, but I also have another use for this, and you're going to see that in the next stage. So just a case of putting glue into this joint. I'm actually applying it with a cotton bud there. Getting this in, ensuring that the feet here, which will eventually be cut off, but ensuring that they're all the way into where they need to go. And then I'm just going to use my little tool here to ensure that is perfectly straight, which it is. So that's number 8 in. I'm just going to continue doing this down the line with number 9 all the way to number 19. So shall I quicken the camera up? Let's quicken this up. And there we go, that's the last one in there. Just checking if that's square as well. That's looking good, they're all in line. Everyone's happy. Now all I'm going to do is, if I can see any excess glue, even though this glue is going to dry clear, just using a cotton bud here which has got a pointed end, just to, as you see, one just came out then, that's not good, just to ensure that that sets into place. Now the thing with wooden ship models is that obviously I'm going to need to leave that to dry now. But looking just like that now, that's the end of that stage. We're going to need the template. We're going to need some batten. This is 5mm by 5mm batten. Now I've upgraded since you last saw this video, in the last pack. I've got this saw now. All of this is in my Amazon store. It's razor sharp. I've also got a mitre block here, looking just like that. But obviously, if I was to put that in there, I'm never going to be able to get the saw all the way through there. And that's what I made this block for, which just slots in the middle just like that. Clever, eh? What we're going to do is we're going to be doing some cross beams on this section, pretty much like we did on the first pack. So I'm going to line them up to where this is going to go, just into these points here and here on 8 and 9. And I'm going to do that for all of them. Now, you'll be happy to know I have already blue peated this. So I'm only going to show you 2 of these because I've already done the rest of them. But basically all you're going to do is put this on here and let the saw do all the work. Long strokes. And look how easy that comes off. Just check that's going to fit. That's perfect. And I'll do the same for number 9. So just to show you that wasn't a fluke, I'm going to line that up. Give it a measure. Put it on the mitre block. Put this into place. And there we go, that's all sawn off. And that's going to fit perfectly in there just like that. Now if you have got any rough ends, now's the time to sand it, but I've made such a clean cut, I'm not going to need to do that. Quite happy with myself there. I'm going to bring the ship over now and I'm going to be putting all of these battens into place like we did in pack 1. So we're going to be starting with number 8, which was over here. Putting some glue in. Getting the number 8 batten. And putting that into place just like this. Making sure that you're looking down on it as well to ensure that that is completely square. And if you have got any excess glue, just get yourself a cotton bud and get rid of any excess along the side. Excellent. To prove that wasn't a fluke, I'll do number 9 as well. Because, you know, my record with wooden ships. That's looking good. Now, it is really important that you do get that perfectly square on there. Because the next stage is going to involve us putting these thinner pieces going down here. And if we haven't got them in square, then obviously we're going to have a bad time. But I'm going to continue that all the way down.
The box a riot with parts so fine, each piece a step back in time. Wooden beams and sails to raise, the Constitution in my gaze. Hands will carve and glue will bind, a ship of dreams from another time. Piece by piece it comes alive, building pride as I strive. The rigging calls for steady hands, patience rules these model lands. Each mast I place, a sailor's tale, ocean winds and a ship that sails. Hands will carve and glue will bind, a ship of dreams from another time. Piece by piece it comes alive, building pride as I strive. Sawdust falls like history snow in every detail.
See, having all of these pre-cut made really easy work of that. This is the last one going in here and I'm happy. Just going to get rid of any excess I can see. But job well done. I'm about to put that grid system in here with some 3x3mm batten, but I wasn't really happy with what I did at this end. So as you can see, I've cut it all out and I'm going to start again. And we're going to get that batten all the way down here. Now I've already measured the gap between the spaces of the 5x5 battens on the ship. So this 3.3 millimeter batten now, I need to measure 17 mils, which is just here. Now that's the largest gap. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be cutting 17 mil pieces, hundreds of them, to actually start putting these in place. So I've got the first one here. And there you go. That's off. Just going to check, make sure that is 1.7, which it is. If it's slightly bigger, it doesn't matter. I can then sand this down. You're going to need absolutely hundreds of these, so that's what I'm going to do now. I've actually found it a lot neater to actually just use my scalpel to mark this. Okay, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm so much more happier with how that's laid out down the centre now. I'm glad I took it all apart. Basically, I put equal length from each side by using one of my sanding sticks here as a guide. So where we put that first line in, it's a sanding stick width either side to where that is. But I'm so happy with that. Now, there is still quite a lot to do left in this pack, which I'm going to save for another time. And there you go. That is what it's looking like at the moment. It's looking big, isn't it? Now, if you want to see how big this thing actually is, James and Stephen from Agora Models have just got pack 5 in, and they've been looking at that. And this is a scale-like blueprint, if you like, a mock-up of how it's looking. And oh my God, it's ginormous. But once again, if you do want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. You've also got that QR code on the screen. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.